A force of raw power burst from the darkness, shattering the silence of the wilderness. No warning, no hesitation. Only instinct driving every movement forward. Compressed strength surged with every movement, closing the distance in seconds. Each step forward was a declaration that few creatures could avoid its presence of the grizzly bear. Once the hunt had begun, who was truly the one under pressure? Mating season opened a new chapter in the wild when mature grizzly bears were forced to cross paths on the same territory. At the edge of a narrow valley, two giants weighing more than 700 pounds began a calculated display of strength. As the boundary between them disappeared, they moved toward one another with powerful force, each trying to overpower the other. The weaker bear chose to retreat toward the rocky slope, a smart decision to preserve valuable energy. The victor remained behind, moving slowly to reinforce signs of territorial control across the quiet wilderness. Victory was not about forcing an opponent to retreat, but about forcing the other to step back before survival costs became too great. Fresh markings layered over old ones, creating a map of power where survival was shaped by understanding limits at the right moment. Every step across the grass now carried the weight of a kingdom being intensely tested. If bears are symbols of the wilderness, then wolves are the fortress of the open plains. A single wolf may weigh just over 55 pounds, yet it possesses a powerful bite, along with an exceptional sense of smell and hearing, advantages that become the foundation of the pack's strength. A lone grizzly bear moves into the wolf's hunting territory, where every movement is watched from a distance. The wolf pack, usually made up of 6 to 10 members, does not charge in directly. Instead, the wolves spread out in a wide arc, keeping their distance while constantly shifting positions to maintain pressure. The distance gradually closes. The feints become faster, sharper, and carefully calculated. The bear responds with deliberate advances, using its overwhelming size to disrupt the pack's coordination and control the space around it. In the tense standoff, when the risk outweighs the reward, the wolves choose to retreat, not as a sign of defeat, but as a calculated decision. In the wild, victory does not come from completely overpowering an opponent, but from maintaining the fragile balance between strength and intelligence. In rare moments, the balance of power can suddenly shift. A grizzly bear that appears to hold the advantage may still be outmaneuvered by a swift and coordinated wolf pack, moving in to claim part of the food. Rather than confronting the bear head-on, the wolves work together with precise timing, closing in to seize an opportunity before quickly pulling back, forcing the bear to weigh the risk and at times give up part of the prize. The strength of a powerful individual faces off against the strategy of an entire pack. In the wild, there is rarely an absolute winner, only the side that can hold its advantage a little longer. As summer begins at Brooks Falls, the waters beneath the falls come alive as massive salmon runs arrive after a journey of more than 900 miles, gathering here to leap upstream and spawn. At these critical bends in the river, grizzly bears are already waiting. This is the season of rapid weight gain, a time when the bears feed constantly to build up energy reserves for the winter ahead. On the slick rocks above the rushing water, the bears do not need to chase. They remain still, patiently waiting for the right moment. When a fish moves into position, a lightning-fast movement breaks through the surface, taking control of the moment in an instant. Then, with remarkable precision, a single decisive motion abruptly stops the salmon's upstream movement with swift efficiency. Throughout the summer, the bears build up thick layers of fat in preparation for a long hibernation lasting several months. A period when life slows down so the body can endure the harsh winter ahead. As the salmon runs begin to fade, the riverbanks gradually return to calm. Yet the cycle of life continues. The ocean nourishes the forest sustains the bears, and the bears remain a vital link that helps keep this balance intact. Along the edge of glaciers' forests, where light and shadow intertwine, a lone elk strays into dangerous territory. From a distance, a grizzly bear immediately locks onto the target, patiently watching and waiting for a single moment of vulnerability. When the distance closes enough, the bear surges forward with full force. The pursuit races through the dense forest, where the rugged terrain gradually reduces the elk's advantage in speed. One misstep against a dry branch, and the rhythm of the escape is broken. In a single instant, the grizzly bear gains the advantage and takes control. The movement quickly fades, as though the forest itself has absorbed every sound. Along the forest's edge, one cycle quietly comes to an end, while another continues without pause. Across the vast grasslands and open forests of North America, elk, symbols of speed and endurance, move in large herds. Fully grown adults can weigh up to 700 pounds. But to a grizzly bear, an elk is more than just prey. It is a challenge that demands both strategy and perfect timing. The bear does not confront the elk directly. Instead, it quietly observes from a distance, selecting a weaker or isolated elk before moving in with the advantage of surprise. Each slow, deliberate step carefully closes the gap, while the terrain itself becomes part of the strategy. The confrontation does not erupt immediately, but begins with a silent test of endurance. The bear follows persistently, never rushing, simply waiting for the moment the prey loses its rhythm, when its stamina begins to fade. And then, when the opportunity finally appears, the chase comes to an end with sudden speed. In nature, every hunt is more than a struggle for survival. It is part of an endless flow of energy, helping keep the cycle of life moving forward without end. Across the open lands of Teton, the balance suddenly shifts as a massive bison turns from defense to counterattack. A fully grown adult can weigh up to 2,200 pounds, with dense muscle and towering shoulders that resemble a living wall. With a powerful burst of speed, the bison forces the predator into a disadvantageous position. The grizzly bear hesitates, recognizing a difference in strength that cannot be ignored, and quickly retreats to avoid unnecessary risk. In the wild, no creature remains dominant forever. There is only a fragile balance where every mistake carries a price. Eventually, the bison begins to lose control of the situation as it is forced into deeper water, where its advantages gradually fade. The grizzly bear gradually gains control of the encounter, slowly guiding its exhausted opponent back toward the shore as the confrontation reaches its conclusion. Along the steep mountain cliffs, where wind moves through every crack in the rock, mountain goats begin to forage and unknowingly enter a zone of danger. The grizzly bear climbs slowly along the heights, patiently watching the mother goat and her young from below. The pursuit begins the moment the distance closes, but the advantage belongs to the mountain goats, steady hooves, precise footing, and each leap guided by the mother's lead. The grizzly bear, carrying its massive frame across the cliffs, is forced to calculate every move carefully. In the end, the goats disappear into the canyon. In terrain like this, if the ground were flat instead, would the balance of power shift the other way? Strength, strategy, and patience, these are the qualities that allow the grizzly bear to survive. At times it dominates, and at times it retreats. But every decision is made in the name of survival. Nature maintains its balance. No creature rules forever. If you found this journey worthwhile, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And ahead, countless fascinating survival stories are still waiting to be uncovered.